Take 3. I'm trying to do this video in 7 minutes, really. But there's a lot that I can talk about on this, of course. As you know, if you've seen most of my videos, they are, in fact, some of them are 10 minutes or longer. But I want to talk about gays and God. I want to talk about mainly it because of the fact that there are so many people out there who have a faith that runs deep in their lives, and they are now castrated, or no, excuse me, not castrated, ostracized out of their religious communities because they're gay. Catholic hierarchy campaign heavily against marriage here, and many of those religious groups, and even black religious groups, who I believe should be alongside the LGBT community, also are going and petitioning and gathering signatures against marriage equality laws in Maryland and Washington, and have been successful in putting a rollback on the ballot, more or less. And simply, every time people see, a lot of gay and lesbian people see this, and they're like, why is this happening? Why are they using their belief in God to infringe on my belief in God and what I and my concept of God? Now, everybody has beliefs, whether they believe that there is a God or there isn't, whether they don't know if a God exists, or that they believe a God exists but they don't know who it is. They don't know which one it may be, so they're like, you know what? Who is God? You know, and what is God in reference to me? What is God in reference to all the things that I believe? If there is a God, you know, who is He? And if I look and see that, you know what, maybe this God seems like a God that is someone that I can understand, then you know what next is there? So there are a lot of people with gay and lesbian people with spiritual beliefs, and a lot of people just say spiritual because the term religion has come to mean pushing beliefs on another group of people by using the law. Now, many people have passed many dogmas, and they cited their religious beliefs as a reason to do so. And the whole thing is, though, that a lot of people have reconciled their sexuality and their faith and their beliefs, and some people just haven't, or some people are on that track. But the thing is, especially when you grow up in the church, and you finally you come to a realization, or at least you come to a realization to the point where you admit it. It can be really daunting, because if your church is not LGBT friendly, then you know that they're not going to accept you regardless. Now, they may accept you because of maybe your history there, or the fact that you've been going there for so long, or, you know, they say love the sinner, hate the sin. But the problem I see with that is, you know, if telling me that I'm an abomination is your idea of love, then I don't want it. Back in Albany about a year ago, as they were campaigning for marriage, people were campaigning for marriage under the groups New Yorkers United for Marriage. Grandma Kitty, Grandma Cheryl, the first same-sex couple, married in New York, and along with Brian Ball, president of Stonewall Democrats of Western New York, took a trip to Albany. They believed that the vote was coming soon, so they hauled tail and got there. And when they got off the elevator, they said just a wall. It felt like just a wall of just hatred and bigotry. Venom is what I call it. It's like a venomous wall just hit them. And they were trying to get to the group of people that they were with, which included Mother Ellen Browser, who was an amazing woman. She actually refused to do weddings until she could do the weddings that she wanted to do as well. You know, she wanted to marry same-sex couples as well. And because of that, because of the law not allowing it, she said, I don't do weddings. And there have been a lot of churches that have taken that same stance, that their religious freedom is being impinged on because of the law in their state. So getting back to it, she said that, Grandma Kitty said that as she was going through, she had to like have her hands down, because you know, they were looking for a fight. They wanted to make it seem like they were being persecuted for their beliefs, and that somebody struck them, and that's the one thing that they wanted to do, so that they could claim that. And there would be there were like maybe about 4 or 5 preachers in their robes and all of that, and they would be standing side to side, so you literally had to wedge yourself between them in order to get through. And they were just, like quoting, scriptures and things like that, and just the spirit about them was really something that was not in love or in any kind of anything connected with love. It was all, just hatred and an intensity that was stifling to the three. Now, the three had gotten separated, and Grandma Kitty told me that as she was trying to get through to the group that she was on her way to, she said that she felt a darkness. It was as if she was just there all by herself, and she could understand why those kids committed suicide, because it is such a lonely place, and it is a place that she just said she had never thought in a million years that she would be there again. So she gets through, and there are all of these individuals that are just saying all these awful things, and this one guy would gather up spittle in his mouth and say, "You're an abomination," and spittle would fly out onto you. And there was a rabbi who had a gay uncle, a rabbi who tore a sign that a little girl made of her uncle and his partner, and she wanted to see them get married. They lived in New Jersey, and the little girl was a champ. Like, she took all the insults and everything in stride, but when that rabbi tore up that picture, she started crying. Now, why would a rabbi do that to a child? That is not love. You could rip the sign out of my hand, I'll know that you're just an ass. But you do that to a child who put her effort into that and who loves her uncle. She adores her uncle. And you did that to a child? And you claim that you love? The irony is not lost on me. So anyway, this is a lot of what I've seen a lot of gay and lesbian individuals go through, especially in hostile churches headed by some of those same people that were up in Albany. And it really just makes me angry because of the fact that sometimes I allowed myself to be abused in many different places and in situations by people who I felt loved me or thought did so. And you know what? They very well may have been genuine in their love. But the thing is, for me though, you gotta love all of me. Even if you don't agree with a certain part of me, but don't try to make me feel as if I'm less than simply because I'm gay and you're not too keen on it. There is so many things out there that that these churches could be protesting. Human trafficking, that's always a good one. What about drugs in the community? What about funding for community outreach and resources and things like that? But yet they're going to come up to Albany regarding marriage between two consenting adults, which will remain a civil contract between two adults. But yet there's so many things out here that they are protesting that don't have anything, that won't do anybody any good, but do so many people harm. And that spiritual abuse is one of the reasons why I left the church I was in. So, YouTube, tell me about it. How did you reconcile your beliefs in God and your sexuality? Have you? Were you ever at a church where you felt as if you were being beat up every Sunday? If I wanted to be beat up every Sunday, I'd go to a bar and pick a fight with the biggest person in there and get pummeled to a pulp. But if you have had any situations like that, or any things where you have decided, hey, screw this, I'm not going to be here anymore, or say, you know what, I'm just going to find a place that accepts me as I am, no questions, no judgment, let me know. And also, I am really, I guess I'm also kind of picking up the pieces. I've been in church for a long time, and it's really been a lot to kind of disconnect from something that I had known so well and people that I had really loved and wanted to be a part of. So rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Have a great day, YouTube.